This is the third lesson in a four-part series on the CAGED system, which is a common way to visualize the fretboard. In the first two videos, I showed you how to convert different types of open C, A, G, E, and D chords into movable chords. If you need to get up to speed on that, I'll leave links for those two lessons in the description. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how these CAGED shapes connect on the fretboard. You can do this with any type of chord. We're going to look at major chords. A quick recap of the CAGED way to convert open chords into movable chords. And again, if you need more than just a quick recap, you can check out the first two lessons in the description. Here's an open C chord. You can change this to a movable chord by moving some fingers around. Use fingers 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3. Mute the first string. These fingers move up. First finger goes down on the first fret of the third string, at least for this shape. Just play those middle four strings. Again, first string is muted. So now there are no open strings. You can move this chord around. Now this red circle right there is the root. That's the note the chord is built on. If you move the shape so the root is on the 5th fret, which is the note D, it's a D major chord. Move it 1 fret higher, it's an E flat major chord. So this is the C shape. And where you place it on the fretboard is how you name the chord you're playing. We can convert an E major chord the same way. Standard E major, finger 1, 2, 3. Switch fingers, finger 2, 3, 4. First finger now essentially is your capo. Slide up 1 fret, first finger bars at the 1st fret. Now it's an F major chord because the root is on the F on the 6th string. It's an E shape, but the chord is an F major chord. Move it up another fret, it's an F sharp major chord played with the E shape, and you can convert A, G, and D chords in a similar way. To use these shapes, you need to know the names of the notes on the fretboard. If you need help with that, check out the fretboard lessons linked in the description. Now, we're going to connect these shapes. Before we get into that, I'm going to very briefly let you know that I teach private guitar lessons online and have several guitar books and solo arrangements available. If you're interested, check out my website. The link's in the description. Here's a D major chord played with the C shape. Another D major chord with the A shape, with the G shape, with the E shape, and this is a little hard to grab, but we have a D chord with the D shape. Like I say, that one's hard to grab, especially up there. Now for the C and the A shapes, the root is played in the same spot, string 5, fret 5. It's just that for the C shape, the rest of the chord is on one side of the root, and for the A shape, the rest of the chord is on the other side of that root. Now comparing the A and the G shapes, the root is played in a different spot, but these 3 notes overlap. And then the G and the E shapes have the root in the same spot, but you play the rest of the chord on one side of the root for the G shape, and the other side of the root for the E shape. Moving from the E shape to the D shape, it's a little harder to spot the connection because the D shape uses so few strings. But this note in the E shape connects to where you play the root of the D shape. So that gives you 5 ways to play a movable D major chord, each in its own area of the fretboard. And that D shape connects to the C shape as well. I just really can't reach it on this guitar, but you'll see how it works when I take you through another set of chords. Lucky for us, these CAGED shapes connect in this order. We don't have to scramble any letters of that word. It's just the C shape connecting to the A, to the G, to the E shape, to the D shape, and then wrapping around back to the C shape. So let's connect some F major chords. The lowest CAGED shape we can use for F major is the E major shape, and that connects to the D shape through this note. Now comparing the D shape to the C shape, if I were to bar the C shape and play the first string, which is one way you can play this chord, we have 3 notes in common. We've got our D shape here with these notes on strings 1, 2, 3. If I were to bar the C shape, those same 3 notes overlap. And then as we saw in the first example, the C and the A shapes connect at the root. So here's the C shape, and then same root, A shape. The A and the G shapes overlap, so this is going to start to be hard to reach. And then the G and the E shapes, I would never play this shape up here, connect at the same root. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you the relationship between these caged chord forms and major scales and how scales connect across the fretboard. When that lesson's ready, I'll post a link at the end of this video. Meanwhile, for more guitar lessons, music theory, and solo guitar arrangements, please subscribe.